Bags and Lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching this video. Welcome or welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. Let's go ahead and get into today's topic. And we're going to be talking about luxury selling at Walmart. This will be kind of like a part 2, I guess, because I did talk about I was going to say YSL selling luxury, but that's not right. Can't think at this moment. I talked about Amazon selling luxury goods. That's what it was. Amazon selling luxury goods. So I wanted to talk about Walmart also. I mentioned that in the video, and now we're talking about Walmart today. Okay, so first off, let me say before I go into my opinions about this, I'm getting this information from a blog post, but what I'm saying is not something that needs to be taken as legal fact, business information, so on and so forth. This is just me throwing out my opinion and not something that needs to be taken with any kind of factual details. I did get some of this information from Fashion Network, which is a blog site, as well as Mango Fool. So as always, I will leave the links to the articles I am referencing down below. So let's go ahead and get started. So with Walmart, Mango Fool pointed out one of the differences between the sellers that are actually allowed to sell on Walmart versus Amazon is the fact that Walmart is allowing independent sellers to sell, similar to how Amazon works. Now, they mentioned that only sellers invited by Walmart can sell. And that's probably just more of a tactic to make it seem more exclusive or more of a kind of like vetting process. Not saying that they're lying or anything about that, but I feel like that's kind of a tactic to make it more exclusive, so that way you can feel more comfortable purchasing through Walmart's platform versus with Amazon or eBay. I can just create an account. As long as I don't do anything wrong, I don't get any dings, but it's pretty much open to everyone. Now, I'm not sure as far as like is that every category or whether there's certain categories, but at least that's the information that Mango Fool has provided. So the sellers are responsible for all aspects from pricing to customer service, similar to all the other platforms that you've seen out there like Poshmark and eBay and Amazon and Mercari and everybody else in the world who's getting into Vestiaire and everybody else is getting into the world of this. Whoever's selling it, they are the sole person responsible for authenticity, shipping the item, so on and so forth. So this article did bring up the fact that Sam's Club, which I do remember hearing about this. So back in 2006, according to the blog post, Sam's Club was sued for selling counterfeit Fendi items, which were accessories. I remember you did see them, I think, on the website and maybe in the stores, but they were sued. According to Bagriculture, they did say that, I'm sorry, not Bagriculture. I just made that up. I'm looking further down on my notes here. So according to Mango Fool, Sam's Club, which is owned by Walmart, it did have to pay a lot of money, which I did not write down the amount, but they did have to pay a lot of money. And I think they said that it resulted in them being banned from being able to sell Fendi products again due to that issue that they were having. So that is something to keep in mind. The reason also why I mentioned that is because, you have this online platform now where they are selling these goods. And so what I wonder is there a difference between where these items were sourced before and where they're coming from now? The biggest difference is, instead of like in the Sam's Club situation where basically Sam's Club was basically saying we're selling it to you, so they were responsible for doing the vetting and making sure that the items are authentic and all of that, is they're putting that now on the seller, because Walmart's just providing the third-party platform for you to sell your items, but they're not saying we're responsible for doing the vetting, the person selling is. Now, what may help with that is the fact that Walmart has to invite you. I did not dig too far into the process of how you are invited to be a seller with Walmart. I'm sure it's probably some type of aspect that you have to basically initially apply, and then Walmart says, well, we'll take you, versus you just give them your information and take it. But, all that to say, I'm anticipating there's some type of process, but I think the initiation comes with probably you reaching out to Walmart versus Walmart reaching out to you. And it may be very different, especially if you have a really large following, a really large platform out there, then maybe that their buyers or their whoever's responsible for negotiating those deals or getting sellers onto the site to sell already have known about these kind of like people that are in the industry that they're wanting to tackle and sell. And then the good aspect, I think, and something that the blog post also mentioned is the fact that they try to keep from having too much saturation. So oversaturation in a single market. So where you would have thousands of pages of LV accessories, maybe they see a gap and they see, they need some Chloe or they need Chanel or they need Bottega Veneta, so they can look for some of those other brands to help out to how to add more variety. Or maybe they see too many handbags and they want to go after a seller that has watches and they want to approach them. So that was one of the aspects that the person who wrote the blog post mentioned, is that they also are trying to kind of manage that aspect of it too, so that way one area doesn't become overly saturated with the same products, which would be nice and give more variety. And I also think it helps with sellers, right, being able to market themselves and actually get sales when you don't have too many people doing the same thing, type of a thing. So hopefully that makes sense what I said. So let me just go into one more thing, then I'll give my thoughts. So there were a few kind of like third party sellers that sell these luxury goods. I'm more so focused on handbags. So one of those being, which in the blog post it does mention it on Mangofull, which is Bagriculture, I think is how you pronounce the name. This company has their own website, from what I could find. They also have reviews. Some of them I think were positive. I think overall it was about an average review. I did see some mention about the store was closed, but I didn't dig too far into that. But apparently there is a site, there's a location in New York. So it looks like have a physical location from what I can tell, but like I said, I have to do more digging on that. So it looks like there is a company that has a physical site, but also a website of their own that you can buy items from. And they are one of the sellers that are providing items on Walmart to sell. Not providing, but basically using the platform to sell. So they seem like they're one of the invited companies. Also, I'll throw the names down here because I have no idea how to pronounce these names, but this company also sells, the one that starts with the A that you saw across the screen, does sell on eBay. So I'm not sure how long they've been on eBay, but it definitely seems like it has been a little while. This company has 100% positive feedback on eBay, and then also has sold over 9,000 items. So that is a large volume. I tried to do a little bit of digging into Bagriculture to just see, has anybody been talking about it? I know a lot of times when I see an item available on a store's website, I will see if anyone else has given a review or talked about those stores. Sometimes you'll see that through the forum threads when they're talking about kind of suggested stores to go to where they've had good experiences. And I didn't see anything on Bagriculture. Doesn't mean that they're not a reputable store or anything like that. It did look like their CEO of Bagriculture was featured on, I think, CNBC's segment on CNBC, and they have a link to that video. They also provide authentication services. I have not heard of them myself, but that doesn't mean anything. There's companies popping up all over the place, and I don't know everything, right? So that, that doesn't hold anything that I haven't heard of them. I'm not that important to say I haven't heard of them before. But, when you're buying luxury items, you do kind of want to dip your toe in a little bit, feel the place out before you kind of jump in there and spend your money. So I don't know much about them, but if anybody else has heard of them before, either of the two companies that I had in the comments or the notes down below, whatever you want to call it, then definitely throw that in the comments below. Maybe that'll help somebody looking to purchase pre-love. I don't know how I feel about selling like buying something from Walmart. It is a little bit more comforting to know that it's just not a free-for-all site. Anybody can sell with them, but I don't know what that vetting process is. Also, I think it's a mind shift change as well to think of Walmart in that way, which I get what Walmart's trying to do as far as a business strategy goes. So it will take some time, I think, for people to be willing to purchase from them. And I think this is more so people who are very into, kind of like people like me, where you're researching, you're looking around, you're investigating, you're thinking about these things, you're really wanting to make sure you're protecting your money as well as protecting what you're investing in. And so people like me that think like that, I think will be a little bit more leery, I would say, to probably purchase from Walmart. Not that Walmart is selling counterfeit things or anything like that, but one thing that does come up to mind is the fact that, you know, Sam's ran into these issues. And so what are they doing to make sure that this doesn't happen again? What are they doing to make sure that even though they're not owning the fact, they're not responsible for the items that are sold, it's on their platform, and in order to grow and have repeat customers in that luxury pre-owned community, you have to build your reputation and make sure it stays there. And what I'm wondering is, knowing that there were issues with the Sam's Club thing, what are they doing to make sure that these people that are selling are reputable places, even though those places are responsible? What are they doing to make sure we're getting quality locations? One of those things that I like to think of is, and it's not fair because places that are solely online can have reputable sales and have reputable products. However, you just want to be more careful. It's easy to throw up a website and make it look legit. So, you know, I think it's just going to take a little bit of turn and take a little bit of time to think of Walmart in that way, that I can get a Gucci bag from Walmart, for example, and just being willing to purchase from a place that is somewhere you're not used to searching for luxury goods. So that's just something to think about. You would have to look more into the return policy, that type of scenario. I did not do all that digging, but that's my initial thoughts. But let me know, are you willing to purchase from Walmart, luxury items from Walmart, knowing that it's not Walmart selling them to you, it's companies that Walmart has invited to sell on their site? And how comfortable do you feel about that? Do you feel like you have to kind of change your mindset to purchase luxury from Walmart? Because luxury is a discount retailer. You're not thinking about $1,000 bags on Walmart's website, $600 bags on Walmart's website. That's just not what you're thinking about when you're thinking about Walmart. So it definitely does take a behavioral shift and a mind shift to actually that be the place to go to purchase items from. But I'd love to get your thoughts and see if you're willing to buy from them, if you've heard of any of the companies that are selling, if you purchase anything from them. Let us know in the comments down below. That'll be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.